Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a high-stakes, documentary-style briefing on a silent crisis that's unfolding across the globe as we speak. Now, we aren't talking about some niche commodity or a fleeting market trend. We're looking at the fundamental genetic and structural vulnerabilities facing humanity's most critical food source. This is the global journey of wheat, and the race to secure its future is, quite literally, a battle for our collective survival.
To really grasp the scale of this, I want you to think about something incredibly familiar. Just picture that loaf of bread sitting on your kitchen counter right now, or maybe the toast you had for breakfast. It's a human-scale entry point to a massive, systemic threat. You see, wheat is far more than just a staple. It's a global engine of nutrition that actively sustains billions of lives every single day. But right now, this incredibly versatile grain is standing at a highly precarious crossroads. As our global population surges and demands more and more of this foundational crop, severe climate volatility is directly threatening the stability of our harvests.
Okay, let's dive into a specific metric, because this is the tension driving the entire agricultural sector right now. 2%. The global agricultural community is currently bracing for a projected 2.0% decrease in world cereal production by 2026. Now, 2% might sound like a minor fluctuation, right? But on a global scale, we're talking about millions of tons of missing food. And wheat is expected to take the absolute hardest year-on-year hit. This single number represents a contraction that's acting as a catalyst for sweeping global instability.
Section 1. Anatomy of a crisis, shifting markets and climate shocks. The shifting macroeconomic power dynamics here are honestly pretty stark. When you look at the forecasts, 2025 saw record outputs peaking at over 3,000 million tons globally, but the 2026 forecast drops down to 2,982 million tons. But here's where it gets really interesting. Zero in on the United States. The U.S. wheat export share is shrinking dramatically, dropping from a historical 25% all the way down to just 11%. Meanwhile, global trade dominance is actively shifting away from those traditional centers and moving directly toward the EU and Russia. So we're looking at a fundamental realignment of agricultural power.
So, what's the systemic causality behind this massive drop in the U.S.? Well, the USDA data points straight to unprecedented droughts, largely driven by severe La Niña events, causing what experts are calling Dust Bowl-like losses in U.S. wheat production. But here's the absolutely crucial point. The United States has historically served as the primary center for global wheat price discovery. So when domestic production shocks hit the U.S., it severs the normal market balance. It triggers severe global price spikes and market non-convergence. Basically, a dry field in the American Midwest literally dictates the price of bread across the oceans.
Section 2. The genetic layer cake, digging into wheat's DNA. To truly understand wheat, we've got to understand the concept of ploidy. Ploidy simply refers to the number of sets of chromosomes in a cell. Modern bread wheat, the kind that makes those perfectly fluffy loaves, is hexaploid. That means it possesses 6 full sets of chromosomes. It's kind of a genetic overachiever, an absolute biological marvel highly optimized over generations for maximum yield. But this brilliant complexity comes with a hidden cost. It has severely narrowed the plant's genetic base, making it incredibly fragile when it faces extreme climate stress.
And the timeline of introgression, which is essentially just natural crossbreeding over millennia, beautifully illustrates how we got here. It all started with the earliest wild grasses like einkorn, which had a simple 2x ploidy. Over time, it crossed to create emmer at 4x, mixed with wild grasses like Aegilops, and eventually compounded into the modern hexaploid 6x bread wheat we rely on today. We built a high-yield superstar for sure, but we left the rugged, climate-resilient survival traits of its ancient ancestors behind in the dirt.
Which brings us to a, frankly, terrifying hidden footprint in global research trends. There is a massive gap in how we study this. Right now, the overwhelming majority of scholarly output and funding is hyper-focused on modern hexaploid wheat. Meanwhile, research on those lower ploidy ancestral species, like Einkorn and Aegilops, is sitting at a tenfold lower output. Scientists are drastically under-researching the very wild relatives that actually hold the hardy, climate-adaptable genes we desperately need to survive the coming decades.
Because of this genetic bottleneck, experts are currently divided on the best survival strategy, and it's leading to a real clash of scientific philosophies. On one side, you've got advocates for climate-smart breeding. They want to use high-tech genomics, phenomics, and deep learning to precisely forecast and engineer how new genotypes will perform. On the flip side, you have proponents of traditional management. They're arguing for sweeping systemic agricultural shifts, like modeling complex intercropping systems where wheat is grown alongside other crops to naturally share resources and build up the ecosystem's resilience.
But I gotta say, when high-tech genomics zeroes in on biological discovery, the results are astounding. Down at the cellular level, scientists have identified breakthrough heat tolerance strategies. Specific tolerant genotypes, like MEROF2 and ZERVA85, have been discovered to essentially wear molecular armor. They utilize specific proteins, molecular chaperones known as HSP16.9, along with coordinated antioxidant defenses. This actively prevents oxidative membrane injury, meaning the plant's cells literally stop themselves from bursting under extreme heat. It's an incredible microscopic survival mechanism.
Section 3. Engineering the Future, the 4 Pathways to Survival.
So how do we actually go about saving the global wheat supply? Global research, spearheaded by hubs like CIMMYT, points to 4 distinct aggressive survival pathways that agronomists and scientists are currently pursuing. Let's break down these 4 pillars: exploiting halophytes, AI-driven speed breeding, precision irrigation, and microbiome engineering. Each of these represents a radical shift in how we cultivate our food.
First up, exploiting halophytes. As sea levels rise and over-irrigation severely degrades global soil quality, salinity is becoming a massive crop killer. So researchers are looking at halophytes, which are naturally salt-loving plants, to find specific survival genes, like SVNHX2. The goal here is to overexpress these borrowed genes in modern wheat, literally teaching our staple crop how to thrive in heavily saline, degraded soils that would otherwise be completely barren.
The second pathway relies on the sheer computational power of AI-driven speed breeding. We just no longer have the luxury of waiting entire growing seasons only to find out a crop can't survive a disease. By integrating deep learning and phenomics, researchers can actively predict complex traits, stuff like resistance to devastating diseases like Fusarium head blight, before a single seed is even planted in the ground. It compresses years of trial and error into digital milliseconds.
The third pathway represents a fundamental paradigm shift in how we measure agricultural success. We're moving away from just tracking sheared tons per hectare and shifting entirely toward water productivity. Through precision irrigation, specifically high-density production with stage-specific regulation, farms can actively increase their grain yield by up to 25%, while simultaneously saving 50% of their vital irrigation water. It's all about maximizing output while fiercely protecting every single drop.
Finally, we have microbiome engineering. This is the ultimate frontier of disease management. Science is pivoting away from an endless reliance on harsh chemical pesticides. Instead, the emerging trend is establishing a holistic biological soil health framework. By carefully managing the interplay between the plant host, potential pathogens, the local microbiome, and the broader environment, we can engineer natural, self-sustaining immunities right in the dirt itself. Which brings us to the core paradox of this entire explainer. To feed the future, we must look backward to the grain's ancestral genetic diversity. We've mapped out a future defined by AI deep learning, precise genomic predictions, and molecular chaperones. Yet the absolute bottom line is this: the high-tech survival of our modern, hyper-optimized food supply relies entirely on our ability to aggressively mine the wild, unrefined resilience of wheat's ancient ancestors. To move forward, we actually have to look backward.
We know the vulnerabilities, we see the shifting global markets, and the scientific pathways to re-evolve this crucial crop are clearly laid out before us. But the ultimate variable in all of this is time. As we rush to translate ancient genetic resilience into modern climate-smart performance, the question that remains for all of us, and really for the future of our daily bread, is simply this: will our race be fast enough? Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.